You wanna smoke me? Do I look good to you? You know you like this. Come on. Just put me in your bowl. Or your bong. And just smoke me. Come on. You know you wanna smoke me. Oh, smoky. Smoky, smoky. Smoke me. Smoke me. Smoke me. Come on. Smoke me. You know you wanna smoke me. Smoke me. Smoke, smoke, smoke. Smoke me. Smoke me.
Watch it grow, from tiny seeds to buds that show in the sunlight's golden glow. Healthy soil and water right, nurturing the plants all night. Leafy greens in morning light, standing tall, they're quite a sight. Feel the rhythm, watch it grow, from tiny seeds to buds that show in the sunlight's golden glow. In the shop we're sharing dreams, cannabis knowledge flowing in streams, lighting up our grow room beams. Harvest time is closer it seems. Learn and grow, let's take it slow. Feel the rhythm, watch it grow, from tiny seeds to buds that show in the sunlight's golden glow. Lovely soil and water right, nurturing the plants all night. Leafy greens in morning light, standing tall, they're quite a sight. In the sunlight's golden glow, in the sunlight's golden glow. In this garden we unite, grow together, share the light. Harvest time will feel so right, in our hands the future bright. In this garden we unite, grow together, share the light. Harvest time will feel so right, in our hands a future bright. In the sunlight's golden glow, in the sunlight's golden glow. In this garden we unite, grow together, share the light. Harvest time will feel so right, in our hands a future bright. From seedlings in the ground, I start the race.
Hello, hello, hello. Let me get over to the comments. Thank you guys for being here. I don't see any Facebook comments. Hi Rose, hi Dale, hi Jason, hi Stevo, hi Thomas. Cheers, Warriors Club. Warriors Dub. Sorry, I can't see you tonight. Good evening, John. Well, let me go and check. Let me just go check it out. Let me go to the home. and goes to the event. Well, I see it.
With a little patience, it's a dream so grand. 75 days from pop to chop. Never stop. Nancy's Own is the place to be for the fine.
Let me fix it though. I bet it's set on very, very private. It is. Hold on. Oh, I can't change it.
75 days from pop to chop. Growing greens that'll never stop. Nancy's Own is the place to be for the fine.
Let me just edit it. Alright, it's not letting me edit it. So let me go try something else here. It's not letting me edit it on Facebook. Nope, I can't edit it there either. And try another spot. Let's go home. Home over here. Go over here. Let's try right here. Edit post. Make it public. Done. I fixed it. Sorry about that, y'all. Now it should be available on Facebook. I'll just go ahead and share it. And then go and refresh. Sorry about all my technical difficulties. And then there we go. There we go. Hopefully that fixed it up. I'll get off of there now. Hi, Sherry. How are you? The tacos were amazing. We had birria tacos. They were badass. Hey, John got it. Yes. No, I just had to go find another spot to edit it from. For whatever reason on Facebook, it makes my live streams only visible to me until after I go live can I go and change it. I don't know why I can't change it. Rose, all your plants are beautiful. I'm so glad you're loving the rum dosi. Yeah, I made it over to Facebook now. Good evening, Jamie. Hey, Sheena. Yay. All right. I have two guests for this evening, and I'm going to go ahead and bring them up before we do the quiz. There's no plant cam tonight. We're actually live in the plant room already. I'll give you early birds a little peek around at where I'm sitting down. The cover crop is heavy. It's thick. But all the babies have risen above. Give them some friends to play with. Hey, Jeff. Hi, Phil. The website player is blocked by the chat box. See, now I'm watching it on a tablet, so I don't see that part. That's something I'm gonna have to go work on. I gotta work on a bunch of stuff for the website still. But I do have the other site that's coming along real nicely and going to be open before too long. And then I won't have to rely on Facebook or YouTube. I'll be able to just do these classes for the people that that I already know and that want to learn and have one-on-one teaching. And it'll be a good growers community by growers and for growers. Hi, Daza. How are you? Good evening, Jeff. Okay, grower. Nice to see you in here. But yeah, I'm still working on this website. It's coming along pretty well. We'll have a community section. It has a news feed that it will go to that you can post on. It has regular profiles, friends, groups, news feed, that sort of stuff. There's the new logo. We're still playing around with it. There's still more to do. Lots more to do. But it's coming on, and it'll be where you'll be able to purchase consultations. There'll be links to get seeds and other products, links to all our other socials, one-on-one learning. Lots of cool stuff over there. Still working on it, though. Gonna take a while. I'll get there. I promise I'll get there eventually. Let's bring our guests up this evening. The site, once it's ready, is grow420meds.com. It's the same as the Facebook group, but a .com. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rose. Your mailman hasn't been here in 2 days. Hopefully it's not the weather. Hey, Ranger. Oh, I love the light side. I love the light side. Yes, definitely. Hit the like, hit the love, share it out. Welcome my two wonderful guests this evening. I have Troy Stevens from the Caniverse and from Permanent Farms Test Grow, going to tell us all about the new test grow that's starting up. And we have Gerald Polson, who has been amazing at putting out super awesome information for all the growers with nutrient deficiency series. And he's now got a super cool plant tracker that he can share with us to help us track what we do to our plants and what we should be doing to our plants. Welcome, guys. How has your day been today? Have you stayed out of the bad weather?
Oh yeah, I got to sit in all day and then play in my grow room. It was awesome.
Sounds like a perfect day to me. Yes. Yeah, I survived a dust storm yesterday. That was pretty interesting, but it's a lot better today.
It was a little apocalyptic when you called me, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, I had never experienced that before in my life. That was interesting.
Yeah, we got some wildfires going up here, but I'm about 20-30 minutes away. But people like Ranger Nugs, I think he's only like 5-10 minutes from the blaze.
And that's Minnesota, right?
Wow.
Yep, northern Minnesota. Scary stuff.
I heard it was up there by Duluth.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of Duluth. I'm about 20 minutes away from it. It's more in the outskirts, like the Iron Range cities like Virginia and Hibbing.
Oh,
At least
okay.
for one of them, because we got 3 going right now.
Jeez, yeah, it's that time of year, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. And we're not getting as much rain as they've been saying we should.
You stay safe up there, dude.
Oh, I hope anyone that needs help in northern Minnesota that is having problems, need help, like I said, reaches out, because there's people that are rip roaring and ready to help you guys any way we
absolutely.
can.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys need help, do not hesitate to reach out and ask for some help. We do have I'm going to start with the plant tracker. I have a cool quiz tonight, and we're going to be talking about week 8 of photo period growth, which really for most of y'all, it's going to be when you want to flip them and put them into flower. If not, you're going to need to top them heavily and start doing some training for sure, or get them under a net, because these have already made it to the halfway point, which means it's time to lop off some tops and go ahead and get ready to flip in another week. But let's watch this plant tracker, because then you'll know what stage your plants are at.
Hey guys, I just wanted to create a little bit of a walkthrough of Plant Track for you while I'm still in the process of creating a full demo. So first off, when you log in, the first page you go to is plants. Now, this shows everything I have going right now in a pretty basic view. Now, there are different options. One of the ones I love to see is this show progress bar. This tells me how many days I have until it's not necessarily harvest, but until I really need to start checking the trichomes for that cloudy or amber coloration. Another one thing that I love having on here is gallery mode. It allows you to take and
Oh,
upload
wow.
pictures of your plants, which, as you can see, you can view the gallery right here. But if you have multiple pictures of a plant, you can also
I love
scroll
that fact
through
right
them
there.
That's cool.
here at the main
That's
picture,
cool.
which is awesome.
It's social media altogether.
From here,
Exactly.
we can view the details of the plant. This is the start, the dates of when everything happened.
And that's
then
all
down here
editable.
we
That
have
isn't set in
things that I have
stone.
logged. Now, I wasn't logging things as much as I should with a couple of my plants, so it's very basic. Like I said in the post, it's as accurate as you make it by entering this data. I'd also mention in the post how there's two different QR codes. This is the one you would share with friends, and this is the one if you were to take it and pin it to your fabric pot, or laminate it and put it in front of the pot, anything around the plant
That's an idea.
pertains to. All you have to do is scan that with your phone, and it will take you right to the log data page.
Look
As
at all
you
the
can see,
things you can
there
track
are
in here. It's
so
amazing.
many things that you can track as you're going.
And I
through
don't
the
think I scrolled
process,
down. There's
which
more
is why
below
I
the
say
progress
it's
bar.
a cheat sheet you're creating yourself on what the best way to do
Yeah,
it
I
with
created
any
an
strain
outline
is.
so I can do a full
And
demo
as
of
I
this last night,
mentioned,
and I found
there
things
was
I didn't even know
agreement
existed
with
still.
GrowDoc.ai.
I love this app, but I
You
still
can click this
I only
Ask
know
Our
so much
AI
of it. Like,
chat,
Scott
and you
did an
can use any
amazing
of the
job
pictures in the
creating
gallery
this, and he's done it
to
all by
ask
himself.
questions about problems,
Prop.
or anything that you can think of.
Yeah, the Ask
Next,
the
I say
AI.
you can customize nutrients.
Wow. Oh,
What I
shit.
did is I use FOOP, so I went to manage custom nutrients, and I created every single week of the process and how much of each nutrient goes into it, which I think is very, very cool.
Right, and if you have an
Next, we
off
have
week, all you
strains.
do is
As you can
add
see,
a new
I've added
nutrient for whatever you did that
everything
week.
from my seed case. This isn't just things I'm growing. These are seeds that I actually have.
Over 50% are
Looking
Nancy
at it,
seeds too.
You can have, if it's available to you, you can add so much data. Like,
I love this.
let's find a good
Knowing
one
what
that I actually
terpenes are
have
in your
more
plant,
information
information.
Nuclear Dawn, right on.
Yep.
Where are you, Pinkberry? There you are. See, I went through and I was able to pull all this information about one of my favorite strains, Pinkberry. Terpene profile. You can
And that was from the internet?
figure out
Yep.
how the plant looks. I've seen multiple.
I
Now I'm
use
gonna have to
these
put
videos-
descriptions.
That's why I was asking you about these like 2 months
Still,
ago,
a
Nancy,
very,
when I
very
first started
cool
using
part.
the app, because it's so cool to have this
You can
information
have
just
different
at
grow
your fingertips.
rooms. I've
Hi,
got
hi,
3
Christopher.
myself, and this is a demo one I've
Christopher.
created to show people different functionalities of the app. You've got AI chat, which is not the same as the GrowDoc chat. It's as you can see here, the example question is asking about cultivation techniques. I'm not going to go any further into this.
Yeah,
And then
it's like a
finally we
learning
have
tool
our
more
add
than
plants,
a diagnostic tool.
which
Yeah.
Okay.
here's the tutorial actually that I just made yesterday. So check it out.
I've been spending time
It's-
making
it's
quite a
really
few
nice.
videos to get in there to teach people how
Anyhow,
to use
I'm
the app.
running out of time on this video recorder, so that's where
Now,
I'm going to leave it. But thank you for watching and thank you for reading. I hope to see you all give this app a chance because I've really loved using it over the last 6 months.
Man, that's so cool, dude. The thing I really like about this is if you have a successful grow, then you've got a nice recipe. But if you run into problems or like that,
You
you
have
could
the
share
metrics to
that
fix it.
information with Nancy or somebody or the breeder, and they have a medical history of your entire plant's grow, so they can kind of look at what you've been doing to it and prescribe new remedies or fixes or whatever. So that's great information to have. That's
I mean,
gold.
one of the things that really sells me on it is the whole QR code that you can share with other people, because I'm a caregiver in Minnesota. So I have patients that I grow. Part of what I grow goes to these people. I don't charge them nothing for it, but when I give them their sack or whatever, I like to have that QR code in there because then they can see everything they're smoking. It's kind of like the commercial version of seed to sale. It's the home grower seed to smoke. We
Okay,
know
okay.
everything that's in it, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
the seed to smoke option, and it lets you keep track. So if you have a really good grow, you can go back and use those exact same practices. Or
To
if you
find
have
out
a
why you're
problem,
having
you can
trouble.
go back and look and see what you may need to have changed and
Watch for
when.
deviations.
Yeah, it reminds
And
me
it
a
lets
lot
you
of
set reminders too to do things in the future. So if you already know that you need to get your nets up by a certain day, or do a transplant by a certain day, or take clones by a certain day, it'll let you set that up.
Yep,
I wonder if it has reminders for
it
things
does.
coming up.
Uh,
That's
You
My
yeah, you
problem
can custom make your reminders.
the recorder that I had only allowed me 5 minutes. I mean, I could have made an hour and a half video, and eventually that's what I'm going to end up doing for people, and breaking it down into sections. But there's so much more than I was even able to show in that 5 minutes.
So much
super
more.
cool. I'm excited about checking it out, man.
I had a great conversation with Scott, and he made notes the whole time. He's totally willing to implement any feature anybody can think of that they want to see and that would be useful to others. It's
Give it a
totally a crowdsourcing situation at this
Yep.
point for people to go sign up, try it out, give feedback. It's super easy to get a hold of somebody, get a hold of Gerald, get a hold of me.
Yep.
We'll make sure that the recommendations get passed along. And you can always, of course, go right there on the app and contact Scott.
And I mean,
It's
for a free
permanent
app,
on.
you get 1,000 plants and 50 grow rooms. Nobody's ever going to reach that. So, I mean,
No.
right now is the time to try it. Well, it's free. And then, like Nancy's saying, give us feedback, because we want to know what's going to be useful for home growers. I mean, I've got a good feel already, and so does Scott, because we both do it because we're both from Minnesota. So, try it out. Let us know. Tell your friends, because
It reminds me a lot of the BioTrack system that we used in Washington for the recreational side. I mean, it recorded all that information and stuff like that, but this was,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, kind of like a Grow Flow or a BioTrack.
Yeah.
But this one has better features than Grow Flow, honestly, because neither one of those would let me upload pictures of the plant from start to finish.
Oh man, that
and I mean,
that's
you
one of
can
the
even
most
set
important,
reminders to
visual.
yourself to take pictures.
Yeah.
If you got Android and you can get it through the Google Play Store, you can set up text reminders where it texts you at a set interval, say every 3 days to check water, or every 5 days to trim it or top it, or whatever you think you might need to do. That's
cool, and that's a
Set
social
it and
media
forget it.
marketing tool too. That's a great tool for somebody, if they want to collect data for their.
They're still working on the iPhone version, but you can use it right through your browser. I love it in the browser. In fact, when it's big on the computer screen, it seems to have like the
so
most
better.
easiest to use and the most options available.
Yeah, I would probably take a pad and paper with you when you're doing your garden walkthrough, and kind of take notes, and then you can sit down later and just kind of plug it into the computer,
But see, you don't even
or do it
need
right
to.
on your cell
The
phone.
whole point of that was, you print that QR code for log data, and you measure it, you take a picture, the picture, you're right there where you can add the height of it, and then it's just switch over to water, and you're adding the next metric that you're introducing to the plant that day.
Yeah, it's just too
It's
easy.
trying to get us away from that pen and paper, because let's be honest, that just doubles how much time you're spending doing this. And I mean, it's a bunch of wasted paper at the end of the day. I mean, sure, you can burn it, throw it in your composter, but not everybody's going to do that. So it's just a waste of a tree when we can just take a picture and add in every little bit of information that we need. I mean, there's 20 different metrics that there's options for when you go to log data. It's insane.
Look at this grow. Thomas Hargett dropped in the website chat.
Ooh.
So, by the way, for those of you who do see this on Facebook now or later, it's buy one, get one all weekend. It ends on Monday morning when I wake up. The best place to find me is over on the website at nancyzone.com. There's a live stream happening there now, and a live chat that's always open 24 hours. You can upload pictures, you can upload videos, you can ask me questions about plants. You can just talk to each other. But that stuff will be moving over to the Grow 420 Med site once it gets finished. There'll be just links to go straight over there to watch live streams or go to chats. But I appreciate everybody tuning in, and yeah, this is pretty cool. He uploaded this video for us.
Ooh.
Damn. Yeah, I got an empty room right now. It's making me jealous.
I just think it's really cool that he can upload that in the chat while we're live. So if he did have a grow question, he could be asking it. So that's kind of a cool feature of not doing it everything on Facebook. And Facebook, I love Facebook. I miss all my Facebook friends, but honestly, I can actually live without it. And my life has been, my mental health has improved the longer
That's
I've
the
stayed
important thing.
away. So,
We've all
yeah.
seen the damages that social media can do.
I mean, so yeah, the hate is real, and I don't really want to be a part of it. But you can find me over on the website. You can find me on YouTube, a little bit on Instagram. If you want to go follow me, Nancy67 Wallace.
She's gonna start picking up. Yeah, we're gonna have all of her stuff on Instagram as well. So that
I appreciate all of that, and I don't need to get rich and make $1 million and have a bunch of customers and followers. I like having friends. I like, I mean, I know you guys because you grow my stuff, and I want to know everybody that grows my stuff, and I'm absolutely happy to be a doting grandmother, and if you want me to help you, burn some, I'm happy to do that too.
Yeah, you can't use that word grandmother. You're only 4 years older than me,
Well, I'm the grandma to all the plants, and
there you go. Okay.
I'm so proud of all the breeders that entrust me with their babies and their seeds to put forth. But even the ones that weren't born in my grow, I still consider myself their grandma.
Absolutely. They're
Well, let's
relatives.
put this up here, and you tell us about what's going on with the next Permanent Farms test grow.
Yeah, boy, we're gonna start off doing basically a Nancy's only grow for 24 strains. It's going to be a 6-month grow. Every Friday, we're going to pop a new strain, and we're asking the community to help pick. So we'll put up a few strains each week and let them choose and decide. And then, so every Friday, a strain goes in. And after 12 weeks or so, a strain will be coming out at the same time. So, and we're going to be a big collaboration with Easy Plug, Photosynthesis Plus, Pork Chops, Nancy's, Air Cube. And we're currently looking for a light sponsor as well. We had a light burnout, so I had to chop down early, unfortunately, but we're working on that. So it should be a lot of good content coming up. Boy, we're going to do hydro cocoa, use the Air Cube system. We're going to use 3 gallon, we're going to use 5 gallon, we're going to use fabrics, 3 different lights, 3 different nutrients, and record it all on the plant tracker. So
you're going to be busy.
Test.
This is going to be a test grow. We're going to record everything I can think of. And just for some good data, I want to see how big I can get one of these plants, and I want to see what the difference is between all the different nutrients. So
I hope that the plant tracker comes in handy for this situation.
Definitely I don't think it'd be possible without it. Yeah, it would get confusing.
If you get me and Troy working together on that, if he feeds me the data to enter, it's going to be beautiful.
Actually, Gerald, he kind of joined in on the Permanent Farms team today, so I'd like to welcome him to the crew, and he's going to be helping me on this collaboration project. I'm going to feed him the data so I can free up some time to do stuff around being a caregiver takes a lot of time too. So
it does.
But I can't neglect on that. That comes first, the garden second. But he's going to help me out. So it'll be definitely detailed. And so any questions you have, just let us know. And I'm excited to use this new plant tracking system. I always try to put them down on log books. I just never, you know what I mean? You get halfway through it and you're like, damn it, I'll remember that.
Busy. When I was a kid, I had no problem. Every day I'd take the tape measure out. Now I'm lucky if I do it once a week. When I was 16, I had all the time in the world, but now I'm a father of 2. Everything that goes on in a normal day. So I don't have the time for it anymore. So the plant tracker, when I found out about it from Frostbud Farms, it was a lifesaver for me. Now I enjoy tracking my metrics again. And it's
if it makes it enjoyable and something you don't mind doing, people will be more willing to do it. And after you get a couple grows down, I bet you see the importance of it, and so it is definitely good information.
It's so important to track what you do, even if you just take a regular paper calendar and hang it outside of each and every grow space or grow tent, and just write on it what you did each day. And if you did nothing, don't write nothing. And when you have a problem, you can just look at it and go back a couple of weeks and see what it was that happened. And if you want to get, really technical and start recording things like temperatures a couple of times a day, humidities, lights on, lights off, that sort of stuff, you can really start to see the patterns of when your plants were doing
Data.
good. And
The
when
more
your plants
data you
were not
figured it,
doing
yeah.
so well.
And
there's a place for temp and humidity on there too. I love how.
so when I was going to tell you, all my temperature gauges, they have data loggers in them. So it'll feed me all the data. So basically I can screenshot you my temperature and humidity log for 24 hours and send that over to you. And you can kind of punch that into the, what do you call it, the plant tracker for me. So
Yep.
yeah, a lot of my equipment records already. I just need to get the data out of the data loggers and get it over to you and get it into the plant tracker. That would be cool.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, I'm going to record everything.
But you can do it yourself if you don't have equipment that records. Just do it when the lights first come on. Do it in the middle of the light cycle, and do it when the lights go off, and then do it in the middle of the dark cycle. And you will be able to see the pattern of when your plants are, when your humidity's rising, when your temperature's rising, and when it's dropping.
Very cool. And I honestly, boy, for like $12 or $13, you can get these little, the little hydrometers and the temperature gauges, and they're Bluetooth, so you can access it from your phone. You don't even need to go down there in the darkness.
Yeah, there was a
Just check it
question
on your
about
phone.
whether or not you
Moon
can track
cycles,
the
that would
moon
be
cycle.
interesting as well, man. That would be, put the moon calendar behind it, or make notes on full moons or something. I don't know. That would
And
be
I
interesting
noticed-
to see what the difference is.
I also noticed Rodney Lee is in the house. I'm glad you're feeling better, or at least good enough to watch this. And my prayers are with you, Rodney, for you to get much, much better real fast.
Rodney not feeling well?
I don't think so. Lance had said that his dad was a little under the weather.
It's not fun. Yeah, I got a sick mom. That's why I'm upstairs in my office today. But
Me too. My wife has been not feeling so well since about 3 this morning, so I'm up in my old office.
we're playing nurse today. That's all right. We wear many hats.
No, we do.
I
We
see
do.
Alex in here.
All right. So, are you guys down to stick around for this quiz?
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
All right.
You
We
think we're
can't
here
say
for
any
you?
answers out loud, but you're allowed to participate. You can put your answer in the comment bar, and just don't give out your answers
Do not
until
send it until they're all done.
you have all 5 letters,
Yep.
because at the
Yep.
end it's a 5-letter answer. So you need all 5 letters in a row so we can see whether you got it right or not.
So if you got a pen and paper, just kind of stick it in there, but don't hit send.
Get a crayon and a rolling paper, draw it out in dabs, arrange nugs on the tray, whatever you want to do. It's only 5 letters, like A through D or something. So
I just noticed
gonna-
that hash.
I'm going to go ahead and start up a little music to play while we.
There we
We've
go.
already
Make it
done.
festive.
Let's do this one. And I'll get this quiz up here. And now it's on it's on a movie. It plays, but it goes a little too fast. So I'll pause it at the actual questions.
One of these times, let's let it play through so nobody has time to Google their questions.
I know. But you want to carefully read each question about plants to test your knowledge. Select the letter that corresponds to the best answer. Put only the letter in the chat bar. There will be 5 letters to send and post in the comments. It says anyone who answers before the last question will be disqualified.
And
That's
shot.
a joke. That's a joke. We're all stoners. If you accidentally hit send, just try to remember what your letters were so you can put them back in and get all 5 of them.
But we do get to laugh at you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He has an unknown infection.
Oh, that's not fun. I hope they figure that out.
Question 1. What week do you start seeing pre-flowers in photo period plants? Got one here. There's a week where they will start to show you one little pre-flower, and then it will go away, and you won't know what sex they are until you flip the switch. But if you catch them in that week, you can find out if they're boys or girls by seeing their one little tiny premature pre-flower.
And these are rigs, obviously.
Yes. And then what is the average pH recommendation for living soil?
Living so shit.
Living soil. You know, the one with all the critters and microbes and worms and nematodes and...
Not the pH I'm using. Yeah.
See, Jay already whoopsed on us.
Oops. Who did CJ say? Ha ha.
Jay, over
I've
ahead.
done it so many times. Which of the following causes brown spots on the edges of the leaves of the plant? Gosh,
I'm good, not the tips. This is along the edge of these fingers.
edges. Okay. Fuck it. Let's try it.
Thank you for watching from New Zealand, Jody.
New Zealand. Nice.
Hi, Michelle. Question 4 should be coming up. What's the biggest risk of not enough light for your plant?
Now, is this autos or plants?
This works with all plants.
Okay.
It just
Good to
says
know as
for
well.
plants. This actually is pretty common for any plant.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if there might have been something different for autos. I'm still getting into them.
But we are on a photo series, so this happens most in photos. For autos, you kind of want to encourage the stretch. So
Yeah, because they grow too quick and too short, too full.
Yep.
now this one is kind of the bonus question. Which of the following plants increases nitrogen in the soil?
No idea. No idea.
Well, one of these plants is actually a nitrogen fixer. It takes nitrogen out of the air and processes it and puts it back into the soil through its root exudates in a plant available form.
Oh, I'm in Illinois, so I got, you know which one I have
We've
to go
got
with.
answers coming already. I got to pause it now because I'm going to go back through all these questions one more time. But we do have answers coming already. Our first one is BCDAA. We do have some answers coming, but let me go back through these questions one more time to make sure.
Everybody got a different answer too. I love
Everybody will have a
it.
different answer. The first one was, what week do you start seeing pre-flowers in both period plants?
Hey. Oh,
Question 2 is the average pH recommended for living soil.
yeah, who knows?
Al Faulkner, you need more than one letter.
Hmm.
Question 3 was, which of the following deficiencies causes brown spots on the edges, the outer edges of the plant leaves?
I know I fucked that one up.
Question 4 is the biggest risk of not getting enough light. Question 5, which of the following of these plants increases nitrogen in the soil?
This will be nice to know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah,
go
this
put
is
some
one
of
for
these
me.
answers up. I'm going to start at the beginning and put all these answers up. And then when we see everybody's answers, then we'll go
I'm
to the
way
actual
off.
answer
Good
key.
Lord.
Al needs more letters.
I couldn't make it past number 3 because I had too many side questions. It was too general. I know too much about nutrient deficiencies for me to give an answer.
I
based on
know,
that little bit. So
really
it's
generalized.
like, uh-oh.
But pretty much there's only one of those 4 really causes that type
Brown
of
spots.
a symptom. Abracadabra, that's a good answer.
Abracadabra bee. Abracadabra bro.
Abracadabra.
All right, I don't know how many answers we got in there. We only have 27 people watching, so I'm gonna assume that everybody's gotten their answers in. If you do need to go over the questions one more time, I'm gonna give you like 30 seconds to say, "Hey, please go back," while I take a couple of hits off of this joint. Bee corn. Cole's on the last one. There's a bunch of dab in my joint. It's like a tire on fire right here. All right, our 30 minutes is up.
I gotta know what number 5 is. It's killing me.
I know, right?
She meant corn, not squash.
Yeah,
I'm
that's,
hoping
what,
it's
that's what
corn.
I was thinking too. Was corn.
That's what I put. But
All right.
Is that
Well,
what
we're going to go over the answer. We're going to do the answers, and then we'll go back through each question and talk about why that was actually the answer for that question.
that's the fun part. You can see how wrong I was.
All right. I'm going to let it play now. This question might sit here for a second. I don't know.
That's fine. Man, this I just hit the hash part of my joint from it. Man.
Ah.
Carter says it's C.
Say hello to Klaus.
I think Roger Doris might know what's up.
Smoking a joint that's out.
Mine's lit. Mine's lit.
I'm lit.
I have two.
I had to
Good
move my
shit.
computer upstairs from downstairs, so I only had enough time to clean a grinder full and bring a bowl. Otherwise, I would have loved to have had a joint. Especially
I've been enjoying joints lately. I got a new Northwest Genetics grinder. I just love this thing, man. It's so cool. Where did I put it? Oh, yeah.
Man, this thing's taking forever. How long is this question?
You sure you
Boy,
unpaused it?
Yeah,
I'm
unpaused it.
sure. It's going, and each question's only like, I don't know, 40
don't they say-
seconds or something.
No,
but
I bet it's
it's
been
the
like 10
longest
seconds.
question.
They say stoners can't tell time, and I bet it's been like 5 seconds.
Right? Like waiting for the pizza to get delivered. Like, come
Oh,
on.
shit, I
it's
need to
been
order
2
it first.
days.
They're watching the little spinning bar for the movie to load.
Yep. The good old Macintosh.
I should put a little spinner on it. I could add that to it.
There we
Oh,
go.
the answers are B, 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 D, and A.
Ease.
So the week that you first start to see
Oh.
tree flowers and photoperiod plants is
Photo.
about week 7, and they're not really sexually mature plants yet, but they do show a little pre-flower. Well, by
Little teaser.
8, they're fully sexually mature and can go and do anything any other big adult plant can do.
Get yourself one of
Reproduce.
these.
But before about week 8, you really can't force them into flower because they're just prepubescent. But around week 6, they'll show you on just a couple of spots among the main stem, usually about 1 or 2 nodes down from the very top, and which is about 4 nodes up from the bottom, 4 to 6 nodes up from the bottom. You'll see just one little spot where it'll pop out with the 2 little white hairs, or it'll have a little kind of a ball.
bulge. Almost a bulge at
It'll be a
first.
little, and then,
Nub.
and then this turns
I like-
into this,
It kind
and
of looks
then
like
it
5
does
fingers
this,
on a stem.
and it drops pollen. But you you keep
Get
an
it
eye
out
out
of
for
there.
those. So around week 6, if you check them between week 5, 5.5, and 6.5, really, you'll be able to see who's got what. And
Wait for
this
the ball
one
to fall.
right next to me has it, even though we're at week 8. And I might be able to show
Can
it.
you go
if
full-
I put
full
my
camera?
hand on it. Oh, full camera, full camera.
Stoner. Good.
Right?
There we go. That's much better.
Or at least this much camera. I'm not sure
I can see it. I see hairs.
where to focus, but yeah, there's
2 hairs.
just a couple tiny hairs right here. I can't really get it to focus. It's not on super sharp camera. I put touch up my appearance all the way over. Because I look horrible under these lights. I already look like a corpse in here in the grow room.
I know it's like hospital lighting. Horrible.
Oh man, every shadow, every wrinkle, it was bad. And I don't usually care what I look like, but if I look like I just died, I do care.
I need to get outside more often. Speaking of which, get some sunshine.
Oh, it's amazing outside.
So number 2 was what was the recommended pH for living soil? If you have living soil with living organisms, it's going to already regulate pH, and 7 neutral is the best that you can do.
Yep.
Rainwater comes at a neutral 7, so rainwater is super, super awesome for living soil. I don't recommend RO water for living soil because it's dead water. It's missing all of its minerals, and it really isn't good for organisms. The little soil organisms don't seem to like the RO water very much at all.
Yep.
You know what? I'm
Okay,
going
went too far. I
actually.
must let it go. Hold on. Where's the answers again?
There we go.
I gotta pause it at the answers. So, yeah, the question you couldn't get past was there, and I'm not talking about little brown spots all over the fingers of the leaf. I'm talking about on the outside edges of each leaf. There will be some
The
brown
yellowing
crispy
in the frame.
spots. And that's generally caused by phosphorus. There's lots of signs of phosphorus deficiency. Gerald, you want to take it away?
Full
I
screen
mean,
on the man. Full screen the man. Blow him up.
the problem with any deficiency or toxicity is they all show so many of the same
I don't know how
traits.
I get him up there.
The most important thing to start at when you're diagnosing a plant is figuring out, is it the top of the plant or the middle
Sorry.
of the plant?
Click on his picture
Mobile
up on the
versus
left of his
immobile
picture.
is a huge deal. Plants that are mobile can take nutrients from the bottom of the plant. So if you're seeing your yellowing or your brown spots at the bottom of the plant, you know you have a mobile deficiency, and that cuts the possibilities in half. There's, I think it's 7 mobile and 6 immobile. And immobile are obviously, if your problems are showing around where the new growth is, that's an immobile nutrient because it can't pull it from lower sections of the plant. So I mean, brown spots, yellowing, necrosis of the leaf, which is the leaf curling up and dying. It's a symptom of pretty much everything. And that's the big deal with cannabis. There's very few things that say, hey, that scream out to me, hey, this is what it is. For instance, I did a class on iron just a few weeks ago, and I could tell it right off the bat because my plants were going through it. The top growth was yellow, yet all the veins in my leaf were dark purple. You know, it's an immobile nutrient, so I automatically knew to look at my immobile nutrients, and I got it 2 tries in, you know, because you gotta pay attention. I will not diagnose a plant that doesn't meet 4 criteria to a problem.
So what was the problem?
The problem I had was iron deficiency.
Okay,
Which
so what did you do to fix it?
I added in glacial rock dust, which is high in iron. Now, another problem with nutrient deficiencies is you have to balance it. I don't know if I was iron deficient or if I was calcium toxic, because having too much calcium in the soil, it causes the plant to struggle to absorb iron. So I had to look through a bunch of different things, and I grow for patients, so it has to be organic. And I learned a lot that day about different organic places. But yeah, so I had to make sure what I found didn't have calcium in it, and the glacial rock salt ended up being the perfect fix, because now those leaves that were yellow with the dark purple root or veins, green as hell. I love it. It's great.
I got some photos I need to send you, Mr. Dr. Man.
Well, that's the great thing about PlantTrack. He's got a
Yeah.
6-month agreement with growdoc.ai. You upload a plant or a picture of a plant to that plant, and then I don't remember what the button is called because I haven't used it yet.
But it's going to give you some recommended.
Exactly. It'll tell you what their site would tell you is the problem and the fix. I mean, ChatGPT does the same thing, but it doesn't focus on growing. That's a wide database. So
Yeah.
it's not specific data for that. Whereas growdoc.ai, I believe, is nothing but growing. So
More filtered for the topic.
Exactly.
Right.
Interesting. Might be
Sorry,
checking
I
it
went
out.
off on a tangent there, Nam.
No,
Oh, that's
appreciate
okay.
it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So back to where we were. And if anybody got BBBDA,
Great job.
raise your hand down in the comments so I can scroll up and find your first comment and
Wow.
show it out for everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody ever gets them all, and it's okay. That's why we do these, so people can learn. If you got them all right, I wouldn't be teaching you nothing. So
Hold on.
number 4 is, what is the biggest risk of having too little light for your plants? And the biggest risk of that is stretching. The plants will try to go and find light. And in fact, if you just grow one in your living room, it'll go straight over to the window. Or if you just have one that with a light off to the side, it'll go straight over to that light. But you'll get a lot of internodal spacing. You'll get really thin, weak stems, and you'll get very few leaves if you don't have enough light.
We've
And
all
then,
started there for sure.
Number 5, of course, number 5 was which of the following plants actually adds nitrogen back to your soil? And the answer to that one is peas. So peas, beans, legumes, clovers, there's a whole class of plants you can use as a cover crop for your, all of these in here right now have a cover crop. There's daikon radish, there's peas in there, there's some grasses in there. I don't know what this one is. It's flowering though.
And that's all pumping new nitrogen right
I'm
back
looking
into
for
it.
some of the pea vines. I've got pea vines back there. I
And
don't
they won't
see any
choke out
pea
the plant?
vines in these plots right here. But the cover crop is designed to help add nutrients back to the soil, both through mulching and through absorption of nitrogen from the air. And the legume family all will actually put nitrogen back into the soil through its root exudates. The clover family is also famous for doing that. So you can just look up plants that add nitrogen to the soil. You can look up plants that add phosphorus to the soil. You know, all the plants that are out there are built and designed to recycle all of the nutrients and make the earth great. It's man that decided to scrape the earth and then just put one plant in each spot. But nature likes to grow a whole bunch of different plants together in the same spot because they all have a little bit different role. Cannabis's role is to actually clean the soil. Cannabis will pick up all of the toxins and all of the bad stuff that's in the soil and hold it in its tissues so that it saves it away and locks it away long enough for another generation to grow up big and strong. And that's kind of what we need to do as people is you know, just you absorb and lock up all that hate. Do not put it back on each other. Don't reflect it. Don't reflect on it. Don't let it bother you. You just absorb it and it's gone.
Yeah, stay
And
positive.
and then it's no longer toxic to the environment. But if you think about it, if you dwell on it, if you perpetuate it, if you give it back to one another, then it's only going to grow. So in order to stomp it out, be more like a cannabis plant. You know, sometimes it's hard. Them heavy metals are hard to swallow. The girls don't like them at all. But you can plant these things in a nuclear waste zone, and they will suck up the nuclear. They will suck up the nuclear particles from the soil and make it where you can grow there again. So it's an amazing, amazing plant. And therefore, whatever it comes in contact with, it's going to suck up and suck up. Any kind of an oil is systemic to the plant. It's going to soak in. It's going to be in there forever. Lots of different pesticides are systemic, so you have to watch out what you're using to kill bugs. Some of the pesticides are actually poisonous when they are burned, and only when they're burned. So they're perfectly good to use, and you can buy them in every store. But most people don't burn their crops. Well, I think like maybe we're some of the only ones that actually grow a crop and just light it on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, which seems kind of dumb, but yeah, the peas are the ones for the nitrogen, and they work really, really well. As a matter of fact, they work really, really well.
Very cool. I always learn so much. Interesting.
I'm gonna look through these real quick and see if anybody got
BBB.
BBBB.
Don't show mine. Take that off there.
What was it?
I'm a bottle nutrient guy.
BBBDA is what we're looking for.
Okay, well, take mine off there. There you go.
BBBDA.
And I was gifted a nice
I
chunk
didn't
of
put
hash.
one on
Dude,
there
it's
at
been
all.
like
I
10
knew
years
better.
since I've had
I
some
knew
hash.
better.
I'm fucking
Rose was really close.
Yeah,
That's
one
very
off.
He's only one away.
Yeah.
Man, Rose is getting good at this.
Hey,
Close.
Phil,
Rick was only one away.
I
Man,
saw what
good
you
job,
said,
Rick.
Phil, and
And
that's
where
awesome.
did he hold on? What did Rick mess up on? Because no, that
The
was very
same
good.
one as Rose. Question number 2.
Yep. Number 2, and that one was what?
When you can start seeing the sex of a plant.
Okay, yeah.
I thought number 2 was
Yeah, sex was number 1.
yeah, the second.
Oh, number 2 was pH.
pH
pH for living soil. pH for living soil was The one they
We're all just a
missed.
bunch of fucking stoners.
I picked 6.5. I was close.
We
but I knew it
do
wasn't-
get a little stoned. You see, there's Troy's again. You were way off.
Shut up. Get it right. I'm Coco.
He ain't got
man.
a
I
single
don't
one right.
deviate.
What the
I
hell?
don't-
I
I know
don't
milliliters. Milliliters.
Yeah.
So
But
that's why the
so,
speed tracker comes in handy for me though, because I honest to God, I don't when I do run into a problem, it doesn't happen a whole lot, thank goodness, but I follow the directions on the bottle. But when I do run into a problem, I really don't know how to fix it because like you were saying, you have an iron problem. Okay, well, with my nutrients, how do I fix an iron problem? Is that CalMag?
I go and so I use FOOP, so that's pretty much everything in 3 bottles. I go out and I buy each individual nutrient that I run into a problem for. For that iron, I went and I got that glacial rock salt. I also have blood meal for when I have nitrogen deficiency, and I have bone meal for when I have phosphorus issues.
But can I use this with? I'm using RO water, you know, because the water out here is so bad, so I use RO, and then I'm using cocoa as well with bottled and salt newts, you know, so it's
a lot
but
of buildup.
I'm going to try some living soil with the microbes and all and the photosynthesis and all that. I'm going to give it a shot, but yeah, I love my bottled newts, always have.
I mean, I use bottle newts too. Like my amendments are dry. Like I throw these things in the soil when I recycle it. My blood meal, bone meal, and now my glacial rock salt. But or glacial rock dust. But otherwise, I use FOOP. That's bottle newts too.
Okay.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
I'm adding the pork chop flour stack attack. So
Oh my God, I love. Hold on, you want to see what pork chops does, guys? You are gonna
We'll-
love
we'll
this.
check
I
this
sent Nancy a picture
full
of this.
screen, full screen.
This is right out of my Canatrol. These are 4 days in.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this shit. This is fucking pork chops right here. These are my top fucking colas. They've been drying for almost 4 days now, so they've lost about 30% of their size. Look at that shit.
Damn, dude. Yeah,
Here,
yeah, yeah.
Let's tilt the camera down.
There you go.
There's
Stick one
my
up.
hand.
Stick one right
Yeah,
in front of the camera.
Here's my biggest one. Even if you take that foxtail out,
There you go. There you go.
That's
Good
fucking
Lord.
massive.
Yeah, dude.
That's
nice.
pork chop.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
What strain is that?
it's called Nuclear Dawn. I won it from a show and grow giveaway from Gary Lopez's group.
Okay. Very cool.
Nice. I do love Nuclear Dawn. They do some really good stuff. Gary Dawn's an awesome dude. So Styrene Production thinks that number 3 should be C. So actually, we talked about this. You might not have been in here yet, but the signs of iron deficiency are going to be a very pale yellowing at the very top of your plant. Now, if your plant goes through a severe iron deficiency for a really long time, you might start to see some other symptoms. But the browning on the edges of the leaves is generally going to be, and along the edges of the fingers, not just the tips. If you have browning on the tips of your leaves, that's most likely a nitrogen overload. Not deficiency, but yeah, but too much. So, and many times with most of all of the nutrients, the symptoms of severely too little look just like the symptoms of severely too much.
Yep.
There's very, very little difference. It'll be a fine hairline difference in what the
There is only one other nutrient.
the overdose looks exactly like the severe deficiency in most all cases. The way you can tell what it is when it comes, where it comes, and how it comes.
Yep.
How fast it comes and what parts of the plants it affects, whether it starts at the bottom, whether it starts at the top, whether it's uniform all over. If you have something going on with your plant, and every plant is going to be bilateral and uniform, I'm trying to show one. Every plant is going to be bilateral and uniform and have like a leaf on one side, a leaf on the other side. If you only have a problem on one half of your plant, it's not coming from your soil, your nutrients, or your roots. That's an environmental issue.
Yep.
If it's not bilateral on both sides of the plant, It's
Getting wind burn or something, or
Yep.
then
too
it's
much
a wind
light,
burn, it's a
or-
light burn, it's a bug, it's a high humidity, it's a cold or hot zone. There's a million different things that it could be.
If you're
But
using a
if
mirror
it's
or
not
something.
bilateral, and if it's not the same on both sides, then it's not coming from the inside of the plant. That's something from the outside stress. If it's all down one side, that's an outside stressor.
That's a good thing to take into consideration. Yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
thing to think
anything that's systemic from inside will be on both sides equally and uniformly. But if you have like yellow leaves only down like one side of your plant, that's environmental.
Well, then what happens when I get 6 plants in my air cube system, so they're ebb and flow, they're all getting the same nutrients. I got 5 beautiful
Like they're not all
plants.
getting the exact same airflow or the exact same light and reflection. Their
Okay, so I was
temperature
thinking-
zones are going to be slightly different. Some of them are going to be higher in humidity. I mean, unless you have a sensor on the top, bottom, and middle of each plant, you're not going to know if they're all the same or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
If there's
Okay,
one
so
that's
I was
looking
wondering,
bad,
how can 5 do good and 1 not so great, and they're all feeding on the same?
Man, in the
flow?
same pot, one's banging and the other one's like, eh. But another part of that is genetics. And for
Yeah.
many years, because of the illegality of cannabis has been bred to be grown and pampered indoors by guys with freaking eyedroppers. So, what we need to do is grow it back into a hardier plant that's not so stuck on, the needs that it's been just through generations of
prissy.
growing plants that are heavily dependent
The
on a
pH
lot of
is too high.
nutrients. Then you get plants that are heavily dependent on a lot of nutrients. But I'm trying to grow things back to be hardier and give them very little. And the ones that do great with the least amount are the
Temperament.
ones that I want to put forward and give to other people, because I want people to have to do the least amount and still get a great result.
Well, then I got a guy you should meet, Nancy. He gave me some of his seeds, and I'm growing one of them right now. It's an autoflower I've been able to treat like a fucking photo. I'm not
Nice.
like
Has it
nutrient
flowered
wise,
yet?
feeding wise. Yeah, it looks here. Let's see if I can. I just sent him a picture of it today. It's only 3 weeks into flower right now. It's not far in.
And that's one of the things that most breeders goes for, is they need to have a certain level of hardiness where they can handle multiple swings of conditions and multiple swings of nutrients where they're happy if you give them nothing, and they're not unhappy if you give them twice as much as you're supposed to. If you can find a plant that's tolerant to the large swings of nutrient needs, of light needs, of space needs, of all of their needs, then you can make a plant that's easy to grow at home. No matter, we're trying to make them where they're going to grow something decent no matter what you do to them. And that's why we do things like the 1 gallon challenge with the autoflower. We want everybody to grow one in a 1 gallon and see how good it can get, see what we can get to. And we got some banging plants out of the 1 gallon challenge. Oh, you got the hash.
Yeah, it's tasty, and I love my new little pipe. It's been
I'm glad you got the hash
years,
pipe.
years, 10 years maybe since I've had some good bubble hash. I just never around. I don't know.
Yeah, Daniel. So back in the day when seeds were growing outside, they were a whole lot hardier. We've actually, we've pampered them for so many decades and generations indoors that they almost, some of these varieties won't even grow outside. So we have to put the
Nature back into them.
strength back into them. They bred out all of the CBD. They started breeding only certain groups and certain terpenes. The skunks all got pulled up because we were going to go to federal prison over it. We lost so many genetics along the way to the raids, to the cops, to the weather, to the, just the circumstances.
And then people started liking certain ones, and that's all they were breeding, and it seemed we got locked into these.
Well, so then it became commercialized, and then they started just driving the market toward whatever was popular. Whatever's popular now, everybody's growing a ton of it. And then whatever's popular next week, everybody's supposed to switch and try to figure out how to catch up. But really, the market over many years, even when it was the black market, has gone through a 5-flavor cycle for a long time. There's the earthy stuff, there's florals, there's fruits, there's gas, and there's pine.
Pine. Okay.
So pine is a group all of its own. There are so many piney flavors of weed you wouldn't believe, but it hasn't been popular in like 4 rounds. So most of the people that are alive don't even remember all the piney weed. But old heads, we remember all that piney weed, like serious pine weed. And it's good. It's good shit. So it just depends on what's going to be popular next. The last thing that was popular was the gases, was your chem dogs and yeah,
Bushes.
those were popular. Right now we're in the fruits. We're in a fruit / floral phase, which is kind of combining and coming together. So I think it might jump to pine next. I don't know. Or there could be a nostalgia for the gas and it just jumps back to gas. But we're just coming out of the gases. We went into the fruits a few years back. Everything became super fruity flavors.
Okay, the big question, what's next?
I don't know.
Come on, figure it out. We got to be on top of this.
The earth or pine. I mean, if you're not gonna go backwards and do what we just did, it'll be earth or pine, and I don't know.
What happens if you cross an earth with a pine? Did you do that?
You get an earthy, piney strain. Like we have a lot of fruity, gassy stuff right now because the gas came before the fruit.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yep. Cheese hasn't been popular in 15 years, Rose.
Cheese,
but
yeah.
The cheese strains are they're kind of in the earths.
Yes, I would agree with that. And what about
they're in the earths because they're very down to earth, fungally. They smell very organic,
like your basement almost in a good way.
Yeah, pine is the bomb, and skunk we're working on, and those auto skunks do have a skunky aftertone. I can see why Oregon CBD renamed it the skunk, the auto skunk, and then the ones that we selected for the traits that we liked, we've called it the ska skunk, and it's the current auto flower tester over at the website. If anybody wants to test out the skunky little auto, it's the ska.
I want to get some of these.
And you could take this lady's bank. She told me that the Foster Funks were gonna smell like a skunk broke into a meth lab, and oh my fucking god, did they! The first couple of weeks, they smelled like a lemon green freezy. It was amazing.
Everything's great in the beginning.
Loving it. 4 weeks in. Fuck is that smell? Like
looking for cat shit and stuff like that.
Yeah, what died in my grow room?
But, it was so good.
I wouldn't even put them in my. I normally hang and dry in the master bathroom because it's big and I can run lines across it. But I sleep next to that room. No way those girls were going to the real dry room. You gotta go. Next time I'll dry them out in the garage.
Hand dry.
I don't care how hot or cold it is. Next, I dried them in the hall bathroom, and the whole house still smelled disgusting.
I put mine in the basement, but I also poly the entire room so no smell gets out of there.
Oh, funny. The
thiols do help a lot. And another reason we don't have too many skunks and cheesy strains is because people have backed way off on the amount of sulfur that's available to the plant, and sulfur is a necessary element to make those skunky and cheesy terps. So you would definitely have to the nutrient needs change based on the terpenes that you're growing, because certain terps need other elements to combine and make themselves, and it's a big chemistry set. So or like a recipe with a million ingredients in different ratios. You just have to have it just right for it to come out tasting the way it's supposed to taste.
Interesting.
Yep, where it's like any crafting game where the materials you use dictate the product you end up with. Same thing with the different ways we manufacture our THC into oils and waxes and edibles.
Yeah, you're going to find out when you do the test grow and you use 3 different nutrients on the same plant.
Yeah,
that you're going to get 3 different flavors of weed.
And I'm honestly starting to think now. What do you think, Nancy? Should we do, like, when we do a strain? Should we do 6 plants of the same kind, but we'll grow them all in different nutrients and different soils? One in the air cube, one in the soil, one in the pyramid. It'd be interesting to see how the same strain reacts, but they would almost need to be clones to get good because they're all going to be different phenotypes.
How many?
They are, but you're going to get that underlying flavor from the way you grew it. Like hydroponics always tastes a certain way. Living soil tastes a different way. Cocoa tastes a different way.
Yes. Yeah.
Peat,
So yeah, we're going to actually.
you know,
I think we're going to do living
Petrolex
soils
tastes
and
a
cocoa.
different way. It definitely, the different ways of growing have a different flavor to them, and you get a different density of bud and a different structure of plant from it too. So, you know, it depends on what you're looking for. And I'm just, man, I'm already going to be high. It has to taste good. It has to taste good.
Yep.
I'm going to be high regardless. But
Well, that's what
we're
gonna be testing for THC and terpene profile on the end of these. But I think I'll do 2 strains, and I'll do one in the pyramid, one in the air cube cocoa, and then one in living soil. And I'm also going to do them under the double-ended lights and LEDs. We're going to try. Some people still have the old school equipment, and we'll see how they perform under that.
Yeah, I have one of those. I have one of those Gavita lights on my back patio right now. And at the next house, it's got the double garage doors. So I'm going to split it off, and I'm going to grow in half that garage. And I'm definitely going to put that Gavita light out there for the winter time. It'll eat that whole half of the garage to grow those plants.
Yeah.
And
I'll have to supplement it with a couple of LEDs, but I got a couple of those big bar LED lights. I don't use those in here. In here, I'm on these Viper Spectras.
Okay.
They're a thin, easy bar
2x4,
to manage.
looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, they're probably not even that big. They're like a switchboard.
No, but they're covering a 2x4 area.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh no, their spread. Yeah, their spread is pretty wide though.
Okay. And you got the reflective walls right there, and you run in 2
Yeah.
rows of them.
Well, if I hang them higher, I get more spread. Right now, they're pretty close to the plant. I'm not getting much spread at all. The
Yeah.
You're
tops
getting more
of the plants are
intensity.
shading them out.
Right. Like I've got a 5x5 light, but it's covering a 6x7 foot pattern on the floor.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. If it's raised up far enough and turned up high enough, you get the same amount of light.
Yep, the DLI or
Yeah.
We're going to be getting a prototype model from Moe's here, hopefully pretty soon. So I'm excited to check. Yeah, the brand new diodes and everything else. So because they're changing their generation, so we're going to be running and doing all the recording and stuff like that, data logging for them on that. But I'm
pretty cool.
So excited to see what these things are doing. We're going to put it up against an RDJ bonus and the double-ended. So we'll have the old school, an affordable light, and then one of the more top end lights.
Yeah.
So
and being able to track all that in the little plant tracker,
yes,
it's going to be
wonderful.
super cool.
I'll just set it up as basically 3 different grow rooms with each light.
Each light is a different room. Yeah. Because you're allowed so many grow rooms. Like what? How many? 50 rooms.
Grow rooms.
50 rooms, 1,000 plants. Yeah, you'll be fine.
I need 3. Yeah. I may have to get a couple of profiles to fill all my plants, but that's all right.
Even I've got 3. I've got a flower room and a veg room in the basement, and then I've got a tent here up in my office for all my show and grows. The one that people send me the seeds to test their new genetics and shit.
Here,
so I got to answer Rose's question. The answer to that is generally no. In fact, with photoperiod plants especially, it takes twice the amount of light to flower as it does to veg. So you need to be able to, if you're running a light that's got variable adjustment, you don't want to get it above 40% before you flip it to flower. But when you flip it to flower, you need to be cranking it up 5% basically every day till you get it up around 80 or 90. Because when the sun is tilted so that during the harvest, during the time when the plants are supposed to be flowering, the sun's at a different angle to the earth, and it's brighter at that time. It's more orange and it's brighter, and it has something to do with something called the azimuth, the tilt of the sun compared to the horizon. So
Now,
crank it up, red it up. Huh?
Follow up on that. Now, I've read in a couple of places that the last 2 weeks you're supposed to.
Yeah, you can turn it back down.
Okay.
So you're mimicking. You want to raise it up. But during those last 2 weeks, when they're done packing on weight, and you're just waiting for your trichomes to fatten, just go ahead and start backing it off. And you can even back off the amount of light at that time too. You can just start knocking the hours off and saving yourself electricity.
Mm-hmm.
There is an app, Cole. You can contact Gerald or me to find out about it. It's an app on Android right now.
It's on Google Play right now, but because we mentioned that it was on the Google Play Store when he submitted it to Apple, they denied it at first. It was been removed. He's just waiting for the okay for it to be in the App Store, but you can find it on the Google Play Store, or if you go to plntrk.com on an iPhone, there's a square button with an upward pointing arrow. You press that, add it to home screen. It's just like an app on your phone. So it's not any different. Takes you right to the mobile version of the site.
And the site is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
I
Scott,
have an iPhone, so I've been using, yeah, I'm using it in the browser, but it's not, you can't tell.
Yep. I like it in the browser too, because I've got my laptop right on my coffee table. So I like having it for tracking downstairs, but if I want to add any other information, I'll do that upstairs from the computer. I'll give myself a note while I'm downstairs, and then I will track it upstairs because it's more comfortable.
Yeah. Go down there and take all your pictures and stuff, but then, go upstairs to do the actual inputs.
And I mean, it took a minute for me to get used to it too. I used to text myself measurements like I do initials PB, PD, OP, 5.5, 13.5, and then I'd put it in the app upstairs. And it's like, why the hell am I doing this? I take a picture of the QR code and I go to height and boom, I put in my numbers and I'm done.
Yeah.
It saves the paper. It saves the extra effort. So,
and it is really important to keep track when you're growing indoors of how fast your plants are growing.
Right.
Because especially if you're in a photo period situation like I am now, you have to flip them, and you don't want them up in the lights or at the ceiling at the end of flower. And you have to realize they will double in height. Sometimes I've seen plants triple in height in flower. So you just have to be prepared. Sometimes they only grow a third bigger, but a lot of times the rule of thumb is double, and triple's not out of the question with a happy plant.
Yep. I mean, I've created a rule for myself. Once a plant is 18 to 24 inches, that's when I flip it if I'm growing it in a tent. If I'm growing it downstairs in the flower room, I'll let it get to 30, but no more, because I don't have the height for that. I'll end up burning my tips or happening to super crop, which is pretty much snapping it without snapping it.
Yeah, I hate to just break them off. But at least with these photos, I can just cut their heads off and make some clones and share them with a few folks.
Yep,
there are some. I've been doing some little stem rubs. You grab this sucker and you rub its little stem and take a little sip of it. I've been trying a few different ones, and I found a couple. Oh, that's one of them too. That's the there's no wonder I'm attracted to this one. This is the Critical Locks, which is a Phenophen cross. It's a fast photo. It's the Garly Locks crossed with one of their criticals.
Oh, I don't even have to touch the plant. When I water them,
I know.
I love it.
Yes, these little girls in veg though. This one's got its little pre-flower. I'll take a picture of that and post it.
I love looking at it for pre-flowers. Like I took a little class through Minnesota, paid a couple $100 to watch these videos, but they had some really good teachers. Kevin Jodrey, Kyle Cushman.
I love Kevin Jodrey. Elaine Ingham, Jeffrey Lowenfels. There's just a ton of great people that you can learn from.
Yeah, exactly. And they're the guys that created these videos that I took for this class. So, I've even taught a few breeders how to find males and females at a younger than normal age, because I can tell even when they're super tiny just by having my jeweler's loop.
The strain is Critical Locks. It's a cross of Garly Locks and a Critical. It's a fast photo, but I've got 3 of them and 2 of mine are flowering. So I'm thinking maybe they crossed a fast photo to a fast photo and they're half auto, because they're at the point where I'm at week 6, 7, and these are about 2 weeks into flower. If they're a fast photo, then they just don't want to wait any longer. They've flipped on their own. Everything else is still in veg in here. I don't have anything else in here that's trying to flower. And I only have just a couple of pre-flowers on a couple of plants.
That's funny, Foster. Car rides great for sexing a clone are great for sexing a clone. Hilarious, buddy.
Hi, Ann. Well, I think we are good. No, they are not on the website. The Garlilox is on the website. This is something that Phenophenes made from one of my strains. I encourage everybody to breed. I know that there's a lot of breeders out there that don't want you to make no seeds with their stuff. They don't want you to remake their strain. They don't want you to breed with their strain. Well, then they should keep their strain in their bank. If they're going to sell seeds to people and I get a hold of them, somebody gives them to me and they say they love this strain, then I'm going to grow it. And if I love it, I'm going to cross it. That's just the way I am. That's what I'm doing. That's my
And
fun
share
thing.
it with the world.
That's my
what I'm doing.
retirement. That's my little gig. I like to help people grow, and I like to make new strains. That's just what I want to do. So
Speaking of which, Nancy, I hate to ask this because I haven't caught the show in a couple of weeks. How is the pinkberry doing? I know you started some, but I don't think I ever saw it pop out of the soil.
I don't know
Drum roll.
if there's pinkberry in here. I know.
Did it pop? Did it
As long as it's going, that makes me happier than you can believe. I found this strain, pinkberry. I had a buddy, he got in a motorcycle accident, was going to the ER.
I didn't pop them all.
Tabs. Well, I gave him this strain because it's high in carfilene. It's a pain reliever. It's used for chronic pain. He was able to stop using Lortabs for as long as I was able to supply him with pinkberry.
Nice.
From then on out, as a caregiver, I grow it every cycle. I've been cloning the same plant we're on 12 generations from the same plant. I don't keep one.
Except for a couple, these plants have eaten their tags. Except for a couple, I don't know who's in here, really.
I don't know. That would drive me crazy, Nancy. I would be down there wanting to weed those pots out because that's just my OCD. But I see.
They're so happy with their friends.
No, trust me, I see it. But boy,
companion plants are great.
Yeah, they know.
They're so happy with their friends, and they use half as much water.
Yeah, it's a nice mulching, or not mulching, but shade protecting.
It keeps all their moisture in.
Less evaporation.
You know, cannabis plants are not the only plants that have root exudates. It happens that all plants have a circulatory system where they take things in from the gaseous environment and then cycle them through their little tissues and their processes, and then they excrete things out their roots.
Through the roots.
So all these plants are able to put out root exudates and dig deep channels that help with the microbes and the microbiology that lives in the plants. I mean, no microbe is going to be happy with just one food for its diet,
Trust me.
One restaurant to eat at, so to speak. How happy would you be if I only gave you one place to eat at, one type of food? So, the name of the game in the plant world and in the soil world is diversity. The more you can diversify the situation, the healthier everything is going to be. But whenever you isolate is when you start to have deficiencies and difficulties and problems, because they all depend on each other. Humans are too dumb to know that we all depend on each other too, and that we should be really good to each other because we need each other. Most people think they don't need nobody, but
and everybody needs them.
It's a symbiotic situation.
It really is.
Yeah, and so when it works right and it works great, then it works really good. And and then it's hands off. You really don't have to do anything. Now this cover crop is getting really, really big, and because I'm getting ready to move, I'm going to come and chop all the cover crop and then lay it down, fold it over the top of the soil for it to go ahead and decompose. And it'll all turn limp within a few days, and it'll start to break down. Once it starts to break down, turn brown a little bit, I'll sprinkle a couple of handfuls of clean soil over the top of it, and that'll help bury it, and that'll help
the next layer.
That'll make it turn into a little humus layer really fast, and it'll be gone. It'll be gone.
Oh man, and what did that orange portal seed ever do to you? Why you got to terminate it? I know what you mean. I'm just playing. She's germinating an orange portal seed today.
Oh.
And heck yeah, I got an orange portal and
it's germinating, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I'm smoking right now.
I'm just a smart ass.
Orange portal. Oh my God.
You can keep your photos in 24-hour for veg. Absolutely. Because then when you go to flip to 12-12, you get a hard flip and they go to flower. But if you're messing around with only like 16 hours of light a day for veg, and then you bring it back to 12, it can take them a little while to be like, is it going to stay this way? You know?
Has it just been cloudy lately?
Yeah, I mean, is this just an off weather pattern but when you knock the light completely in half by 50%, there's no doubt. They're like, oh shit, it's really dark. It's dark. Oh, and that chemical starts building up, but they have to build up that chemical for a straight 12 hours before it can actually express the flower. And if that is delayed, interrupted, or cut short, then it will affect your yield and it'll affect the flowering ability, and you can get herms and different things like that.
Have you heard of the one where they lights off for 12 hours? No, lights on for 12 hours, then they're off for 5.5 hours, and then it's on for 1 hour to wake them back up, and then it's back off for 5.5 hours. It's like a double.
Yep, I've heard.
Have you heard of that one? Yeah, it's kind of. You got to have some pretty stable genetics. I tried that a couple times, and they all pretty much hermed out.
So that really works better in like greenhouses and outdoor environments.
Okay.
If you're in an outdoor environment and you've got like some good sized street lights, like barn lights and whatnot, that you can put on a switch, and you can
wake them up early.
You can interrupt their cycle at night. You can delay them from going into flower when you plant too early. Like people that are planting right now, their photos are destined to flower before they can actually veg.
Yep.
Yeah.
You really need you need about
4 weeks.
Right now is really pushing it, but you need about another two more weeks to be sure that you're not. If you put out a plant now that's already fully sexually mature, it could start to flower still.
Yeah.
But
especially if it's been on a 24 or a 20-hour light cycle. If it's been on a 20-hour or a 24-hour light cycle and you put it out right now, it'll flower. But if you put it out June 1st, you'll still be good because there's not enough dark.
It may re-veg after a while, but it's definitely going to slow down the growth and complicate things.
I know. I can't wait till 6/1, so I've got a bunch of clones downstairs just waiting to go out because
we just wait for. And it's not about your weather, how warm it is, how cold it is where you live. It's about how much light there is outside. We need a certain amount of light before we can go for it, and that's going to be June 1st. It's happening.
The longest day is
amazing, and I loved it out there in LA. We had a great time at the Auto Cup. We're going to go hard next year. A bunch of ladies are going to grow my stuff and enter all together. It's free to enter. You do not have to be there to win. If you do show up, it's free to get in. So,
how many entries are you allowed per person?
You can enter as many as you want.
We might enter every single strain we grow over the next 6 months.
I mean, I was going to enter 4 one year, and then I had issues with the grow I was on, and I left.
Well, if we can raise some sponsorship funds or whatever to help pay for the containers, I'll enter all 24 strains that we're going to do over the next 6 months. They'll be nice and cured.
All right. Yeah, I mean the little jars are not super expensive.
No, it's like $12 a set. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But 24 times, that adds up a little bit.
That does. So yeah, we could do a raffle to cover the cost of the people that want to enter. So so it doesn't cost them anything. But normally competitions cost money.
Yep, free one, and a big one too.
Yeah,
it looks pretty. But
it's a really giving event. It's not a money event. It's not about money.
It costs.
There's a couple of really good sponsors that pay for the whole event, and like they're not selling T-shirts, they're not selling hats, all that stuff they give away, and they do great prize packages for the winners of the trophies. I'm hoping next year that somebody can get the highest THC trophy with one of my strains. I know one of my strains will do it, and I'm sure that we can get that one for sure. We can get that highest THC trophy.
There's a couple of them. Yeah,
I'm
that's
thinking
not-
I might enter
I grew a
myself.
strain last cycle, the Garly Walks gas. I told Nancy right out I'm changing its name to the Giant Tranquilizer. And I mean, it takes more than money just to enter those contests. You have to have some willpower, because there's no way I would have been able to hold on to a butt of that shit. It knocked me on my ass. Like I'm a big dude and I've been smoking a long ass time. I was passing out after a joint of this shit. That Garly
Usually
Walks
your-
gas was no joke.
Your go-to
Joke at all.
smoke when it's
The
available.
high THC this year was 30%.
30%.
Yeah.
That's doable. I mean, we're gonna
I
try.
mean, I've seen on and that's for a lab test, but I've seen on handheld testers, like Sherry Ellison got a 29.1 with a orange portal.
Yep.
There we
And
go.
I've seen a bunch from, high 27s, 28s, 29s, seen a lot of them. So
She might have been
pretty
second
sure.
place. She could have gotten second place, possibly. Got to get these things entered. Yeah,
I know
Yep,
that makes
yep.
me sad. I've never had any of my strains tested.
They've just posted all the scorecards over on their Discord. They've
You've never
just
had any
posted
of them
all their
tested?
scorecards. So
Hydro
people will
Ball,
start
Hydro
screenshotting them and putting them up on
Pretty good ballpark.
Instagram.
Yeah, they'll do it for free. Like all the ones here in Illinois, dude, you go in there and buy a bag of soil, dude. They throw it in their little machine right there, and they can tell you the dryness and the THC within a couple of points.
I wonder if the grow shops around here have got something like that.
I bet they might. It's definitely worth calling. Boy, I just found out
Yeah.
in Washington you can go to a hydro shop now, and for like $5 a month or whatever, you got a membership card, and there's like special benefits and rooms that you can go to and get genetics and stuff like that. So that's kind of neat.
It's a
I'm
smart
not saying
idea.
any names or anything, but it's something I heard about. I thought that'd be fun.
No, it's a smart idea. Subscription
Absolutely.
models are a way to.
Yeah, I've always thought
it's
they
sure
should
you
be.
got revenue for doing something you love, man, helping people out. Like
I think we need medical farmers markets would be really nice. We used to have those in Washington. You can set your booth up and take donations.
They are super cool.
It helped a lot of people. And
Well, we are at our hour and a half mark, so I have to say good evening to you, gentlemen.
it was nice
And
to see you again.
anybody
on
who's
Facebook
watching
here.
or rewatching, it's still buy one, get one all weekend. And if I can stay out of Facebook jail for the next week, and even if I don't stay out of Facebook jail, and you'll have to come watch it on the website or over on YouTube, but between now and next Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, all the orders are going to be an entry to win this guy.
Oh shit! Nice. Oh god.
yeah,
He does have a
evil
protrusion.
looking mofo.
Yeah.
He does have a protrusion.
yeah, and you light it on fire, and it looks like he probably likes it.
But you get to suck his brains out.
Yeah, you suck his brains out through his wiener.
No, through the top of his head.
Oh, his belly button. Okay, my bad.
You get to light his belly button on fire.
Okay, yes, into his stomach. Aha, the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all
I love
about
it.
that angle. It's
Yeah.
all about that
Okay.
angle.
I love it. He's even got toenails.
Suck his little toes.
Yes. No, very
Just
cool.
out his little
Now that's-
tush.
Is it plastic with a glass base, or is it all glass?
It's plastic, but the parts that you smoke are all glass.
Okay,
Yep.
very cool.
The
Okay,
inside of his
Like a
belly is all
good
glass.
deal. Okay.
The down stem and the bowl,
bowl.
are separate glass
Yeah.
pieces.
Nice. With a little diffuser on the bottom. Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is a separate glass piece that goes
Down
into
stem
a
to it.
flexible tube down to this bowl.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the pieces come apart and out easily enough to
Clean it up.
he's easy to clean. Yeah.
Yeah. I see mine's
You
bad.
can
I
you
wanted to-
squish a little alcohol around in his belly and just pour it out his head and be fine. And
Why
then
would
just
you put
clean
that
these
on
two
screen,
pieces.
Troy? That's embarrassing.
It is, dude. That's why I've been busy. It's time to clean. I got to get to the store, get some alcohol. That's why I've been smoking joints. I said I've been smoking joints for a few weeks here. So
I really
bad.
can't say anything honestly, dude. If it wasn't for my wife, mine would.
Yeah, Rose. Actually, I haven't had hardly any orders this week, so I'll go back a few days for you. Definitely, I'll go back a couple of days for you. Because I've only
my
had
lighter,
like,
of course.
yeah, I've only had like 4 orders in the last week. So yeah, that's why for this week, anybody that orders will spin next Saturday. If I'm in Facebook jail, you can catch it on YouTube, and if you miss it, you can rewatch it on YouTube.
was gonna say maybe we'll do a special deal or something. I'll throw in a pack if you can stay out of Facebook jail. We'll take bets on it or something. When does Nancy go back?
Well, yeah, if I stay out of Facebook jail for a week, we'll do a giveaway next week.
There you go.
And I've also got a whole bunch of goodies thanks to Mephisto and Farmer Hatbeard. They
There you
were
go.
both winners at the Autoflower Cup, and they were both taking airplanes home. So
What
my
categories did they
my
win?
fabulous group of growers and Grow 420 Meds group is going to be the recipient of all of their liquids that they could not take with them, along with a whole bunch of cool swaggy items from the Autoflower Cup. I've got koozies and hats and pins and lanyards and grinders and trays and all sorts of stuff to go with the wonderful nutrients that I
Memorabilia.
picked
Very
up there.
cool. And I'm
Yes.
sure you'll be sharing that all.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be doing
Very
that
cool.
in giveaways. I'm probably going to be doing that more in giveaways that are over exclusive to the website. When the new website gets open, the Grow 420 Meds website,
That will be the place
that's
for the
when it's going to
giveaway.
get. That's when it's going to
Good
be. That's when it's going to be lit.
Exclusive.
I don't want to do things on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube that are going to be against their policies or get me into some sort of a situation where they put me in jail and ban my accounts. Now, if Facebook bans me tomorrow, I'm cool with that. I've gotten really used to it. Just give me my regular bunk. I want my 2 pillows, 2 mats, and my 2 meals every day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's all I want from y'all. Whoever wants a breakfast can get up and get it because I'll be up late at night and you can have my
But
morning.
over on the web page, it's kind of it's international waters, so it's
The web page is definitely neutral territory. Unfortunately, somebody has to be the Zuckerberg of the whole thing, so that's going to be me. And I'm not always right, and I have bad days too. So if I took offense and wasn't supposed to, and accidentally remove you or your comment, it's cool. Just make another. If I removed your account altogether, then just sign up with a different email and come back, and we'll try again until we both get it right.
you cancel all outstanding.
The only rule over there is good vibes only, because if it's not my vibes, it's not my tribe, and I want this place to be for people that are giving and willing to learn and willing to give and willing to help each other. It's pretty much a drama-free, narcissist-free, takers, whiners. If you got too much drama in your life, then sorry, just take it someplace else. I'll talk to you on another type of social media, but the Growers for Growers, Grow 420 Meds is just going to be for people helping each other grow or enthusiasts that want to learn.
There you go. Absolutely. I'm excited about it. I'll be sharing a lot of content over there as well. There might be some stuff over there we don't release on Facebook. So you might have to come over there to get some certain things. We'll see.
Oh yeah, no, there won't be cannabis content. Once that's open, there will be no cannabis content left for me on Facebook.
Well, no, I was gonna say,
and
I don't
very
know
little on YouTube.
Yeah.
Very
I'll
little
post
on
it
YouTube.
on Instagram, but it's going to be, if you're on Facebook and you want to follow the pictures of the upcoming grow, it's going to be all on Nancy's own, because I'm not going to get my Facebook page shut down for it either. So,
right.
Yeah. I'll be
There's
putting it over on
already a
your
cool
website.
show your grow section over there where but Linda's having trouble with login. I'm sorry, Linda. I will send you a password reset right now so I don't forget. I'll just do it right here while we're on the live.
And then you're going to be busy this weekend too, so.
Night, Rose.
Actually, I got brief reprieve. I found out today after I signed my lease and after I let me do send password.
Yeah, my bad.
Real quick. Let me just send Linda an email to reset her password. There you go, Linda. I sent you an email. I got a brief reprieve just a couple of hours ago, and I've been packing all day and trying to clean stuff and get stuff ready because I thought, that we were starting tomorrow.
Time to do this.
I sent him a text to say, hey, what time tomorrow are we going to get started, just so I know how much time I had to get ready. And he said that actually they were a little bit behind, and they want to start next Sunday or next weekend, or just do it all next weekend. I think Saturday or Sunday. But I talked to the landlords today, and they got a couple of things still to fix over there. There's a door they got to replace, and some blinds, and just a few little things they want to do before I move in. So they're gonna finish up their repairs during this week, and then we'll do the
But there
swap.
might be a weekend when you might be a little absence on the moving weekend, and yeah, we can all understand that.
I'm going to check in. I don't know where I'll check in from next Saturday. It could be from this house or it could be from that house. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it'd be neat to do a walkthrough of your new grow space before you even put anything in there and kind of check it out. But we'll do a little before and after, and once we get it all pimped out for you.
CNR, you'd have to give me like the first 5 of your email, something to identify you with. You don't have to give me your name, but you'd have to give me either like your name or the first 5 of your email, and then I can send you a reset. But I don't think I have you in there as CNR Creations, do I?
Your complete social security number will work as well. Just throw it over in the chat.
I'm going to check just to make sure I don't have a CNR. No, I don't.
CNR Creations, huh? I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah, I'm checking out Nancy's site too. Make sure it still lets me log in.
I know that it's been having issues with the log. Oh, it's Robbie Johnson. Okay. Let me go send you a reset. To Robbie J. All right, there you go. I sent you a link too. It's because I keep changing stuff on the website, and when I change stuff, it like logs everybody. I have to do these like resets, or I have to turn it off, change shit, and then turn it back on. Because I actually crashed and broke the website because I had everybody in there on a live stream and a chat and everything, and at the same time, I'm changing all kinds of shit. Apparently, you're not allowed to change all kinds of stuff when everybody's in there using that stuff.
The fucking server's smoking.
And there's Nancy just.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm just
Oh my
changing
God.
everything. I'm like, oh, let's add this and let's add that. Like people are actively going, well, I want to put up a movie. So I'm like, all right, what file extension is it? Let me go change that right now in real time. And it did not like that at all. So yeah, so now I sometimes when I go and change stuff, I have to like log everybody out, because otherwise if you're logged in and you come back and stuff's different, your stuff's broke.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. She goes into construction. Yeah, you have to make sure you're logged out. Everybody's off.
Yeah, sometimes I have to clear out all the cookies for everybody, and then all the pages have to reload for them, and it logs you out. And yeah, sometimes I have to do that. But I tie it up in so many knots. When I'm working on it and tweaking it, because I don't know what I'm doing, I tie that sucker up into so many knots. Sometimes I just got to go hit the reset.
Reset
All together with duct tape. It'll be all right.
I've learned a lot, and I'm doing things differently with the other website.
It's exactly how I did with the Canaverse. If I would have known at the end what I didn't know at the beginning,
That's what I knew now. Yeah. But I didn't set up. I actually paid a guy in Nigeria like $500 to set up the framework and the slider for me, and then I had to come up with all the content, the pictures, the products, all that shit. But he set up like an email flow for it, and I had to set up the payments and all that stuff because that was all my, information. But he did set up the email flows, and he set up the basic framework for the pages.
Very cool. Good deal.
But in hindsight, I paid him too much.
Oh
yeah, but
his AI did that for me for free.
Probably.
It took like 45 seconds.
Yeah, it's.
And I'm right at the point where I started with after I paid that dude $500.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I mean, I might have got a little bit more. I got a couple more pages out of that guy, but I didn't get them up front. Those are things I had to go ask for.
You didn't get $500 worth.
Yeah, and if I wanted to pay and I had more than 24 hours with that little AI, then I could have got it to make me the other pages and another. I just didn't know I need them. So, till I didn't find them.
I don't know a damn thing about building a website. I tried it one time, but that was many, many years ago.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going on an hour 45 minutes. We're going to wrap this up.
It's
I'm going to
good,
play one more song.
Smoke a roach real quick. Say goodbye.
I'm going to light my joint one more time.
Thank you for joining us, Gerald.
Dude, it was a blast. Thanks for
And
having
welcome
me.
to the team, dude. Yeah.
And thank you to anybody who's rewatching. The buy one get one sale is all weekend. It's automatic. It happens when I package. So whatever you pay for, you'll get double of. It doesn't matter how much or how little you get, you're going to get doubled. And you may end up with way too many seeds to grow, and that's okay. I encourage you to share them with friends, share them with enemies, mail them to strangers. I love
Drop
some
them in
of
flower beds
my
somewhere.
fame.
Make sure you
They
lock
got
the
beautiful flower bed boxes right outside the police station.
Yes, the courthouse usually has an awesome spot for them.
Yes, nice and sunny.
And if you are rewatching this, don't forget to like and comment, as Nancy's a wonderful lady.
Absolutely.
We
And
all
welcome
love
back. We missed you out here.
No matter what they say about me.
Nope, this lady's my spirit animal. She's always got this community in mind.
Yes.
really does.
Thank you guys for being here tonight. I really
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Nancy.
Thank
Yes,
you for
we'll do it
having
again
me.
You
soon.
sit around for a minute after. We'll come back up so we
Yeah,
can
we'll hang
finish
out
those
for that.
questions we were doing at the beginning.
Good deal. Good deal.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Double shine, we grow with pride. In Nancy's garden, we reside. Plotters of the future, taking a stand. With a little patience, it's a dream so grand. 75 days from pop to chop. Growing greens that'll never stop. Nancy's own, it's the place to be for the finest harvest. Come and see.